So quick, tell me, how many emails in your inbox? 100? 150? 250? 500? 1,000? Go on. 2,000? If it's more than 10 or 15, it probably causes you stress. And I want to help in this video to take some of that stress off. I'm going to talk about taming the email monster. To get things started, we need to memorize the key principle. Are you ready? I will read an email only once. You can repeat that after me. I will read an email only once. Don't panic. We'll get there. You might be saying that's impossible. Well, part of the reason that your inbox is giving you so much stress is that you're not getting into the right habits that allow you to read an email only once. So, in order to set things up, there's a couple of things I need you to do. The first thing I need you to do is to set up in your email program a folder called processed email, done email, whatever you want to call it, but some folder in your email program that says these are emails you have dealt with. I call it processed email. If you're in real trouble and you have an inbox that is completely out of control, and by that I mean anything over about 100 emails, you may want to set up another folder called the intervention folder, or the help folder, or the get out of trouble folder. I call it the intervention folder when I'm helping people. So you've set up a processed mail folder in your email program, and you've set up an intervention folder in your email program. And then you need to set up for yourself some sort of task list, to-do list system. I'm not going to talk about that in detail today. That may be the subject of another video. But you might use tasks in Outlook, if Outlook is the email program that you're using. You might use a paper and pen system. That's what I'm still using. Or you might get some other electronic task list, to-do list. There are lots of apps, lots of software out there if you prefer to use that. As I say, I use a notebook and a pen and update my to-do list on a daily basis. So we're set up and we're ready now for the daily discipline. This is the thing you're going to learn to do on a basically daily basis that'll keep your inbox from getting out of control, keep the monster in check. Now, at this point, you might be going, yeah, but you don't know what my inbox looks like. No, I do know what your inbox looks like. I've probably seen it. We'll get to the radical step we're going to take to deal with the inbox that's completely out of control. But I need to tell you how to deal with emails regularly so that when we get to the intervention, we can deal with that. So here's the daily discipline. Step one is you need to schedule on a daily basis, Monday to Friday or your work days, just some time to deal with your inbox. You may want to make it the beginning of the day so that you kind of deal with your inbox, deal with your emails, get them out the way, and then get on with the rest of your work. You may want to do it at the end of your day so that you know what you've got to do the next day. You may want to do it in the middle of the day. You may want to do it twice a day. But that's something you're going to need to get into the habit of doing, is dealing with it and then closing your email program and moving on. Step two is, and this is the heart of what I want to talk about today. This is the guts of it. If you get this next step right, you'll beat the inbox email monster. You need to learn to decide for each and every email. Read it once and make a decision. And there's basically 4 categories of email. There are the emails that you can simply delete. Sometimes you don't even have to read it. Just knowing where it's come from and what the subject line is, just hit delete. Boom. Great thing is, most email programs are storing it somewhere. If you make a mistake, you can always go back and dig it up if you have to. Delete. Then there's those emails that you can deal with immediately, the do emails. And my rule of thumb is about 2 minutes. If you can get rid of it within 2 minutes, do it right then and there. Write a reply. Quickly give the person the answer to the question they have, or send them an acknowledgement saying, thank you for your email. I've noted it. Then there's the can I delegate it decision. As I look at the email, as I read it, I go, you know what? This isn't my job. This is for somebody else. Forward it, if needed. Simply write your bit of your email saying, dear so-and-so, in the light of the fact that this is your responsibility, please will you deal with this email and report back to me. Gone. The fourth type of email is that one that, well, actually it's a whole task. It's a whole job in itself, and you know it's going to take preparation, it's going to take time, and you're going to need to schedule some time to do it. You can't do it now immediately. And here's the mistake we're making. We then leave this email in our inbox and use our inbox as a to-do list. And then we keep scrolling backwards and forwards, and it gets fuller and fuller and fuller. Then we start worrying about whether we're missing something, so we read through stuff just to see what's there. We're reading emails dozens of times, and then we end up with hundreds and thousands of emails in our inbox, and then it's just, we're never getting to stuff. So this is the key. This fourth type of email, you need to move to your to-do list, your task list system. You need to get it out of your inbox. And I'll talk a little bit more about that just now. Step 3 is, and actually step 2 and 3 are working together, as you make those decisions for those emails. Delete, you simply delete it. The do ones you do, and then move the email you've replied to your processed mail folder. Move it. Drag it to the processed mail folder. If you've delegated, you've forwarded on to somebody, asked them to do something, expecting a report, forward the email to your processed mail folder. The defer emails, the ones that you've said you're going to deal with later, don't leave the email in your inbox. Write something on your to-do list, drag the email to your task in Outlook. We can talk about how to do that at another stage if you're not sure about that, but get that email out of your inbox. Write it down in your to-do list and move it to your processed mail. You see where this is going? You shouldn't have any emails in your inbox for very long at all, because every day you're going to be sorting through them and moving them out of your inbox. And then step number 4 is get on and do some work. Turn the email program off, shut it down, turn the app off. My recommendation is turn the notifications off so that you don't keep having your laptop or your phone or whatever device you're working on keep going, beep, beep, new email, beep, beep, new email, because then you feel you've got to go and check on it. Work from your to-do list, your task list, not your inbox. And that's it. Well, but you say to me, Colin, but what if I need that email again? Well, every email program out there has a search function. Search either by the name of the person who sent it to you, the subject line, find something there. And if you're not sure if you can remember, in your to-do list, make a note of the email, something that will remind you of to what to search on if you do need to go back to that email. But get it out of your inbox. You're saying to me, though, Colin, you don't understand. No, I do understand. You've got 1,565 emails. What I've just described would take you a month And then in the meantime, there'd be all those other emails. You're right. If you've got more than 100 or so emails, maybe 200, then this system, you're just never going to catch up. So here's the radical intervention. Now, strap yourself in, because for some of you, this is going to be a rough ride. First of all, remember that intervention folder that I had you set up? All right, go to your inbox, Control A, and drag all the emails, all of them, that's right, absolutely every single one of them, into the intervention folder. Now, relax, you're not deleting them, they're still there, they're just in that intervention folder. Take a moment to enjoy an empty inbox. It's good, isn't it? Feels good. You can have that pretty much every day. I see that empty inbox most days that I'm working. But you've got those emails haven't gone away. So go into the intervention folder, and here's my suggestion. Sort the intervention folder by date. We're going to do 2 exercises. We're going to aim to find some of the critical emails that are in that folder and deal with them the way I've just taught you how to deal with emails. So first of all, sort by date. And look back at the last 50 emails you have, starting with the most recent. And now apply the 4 decision-making criteria. Can you delete it? If so, delete it. Is it something you can deal with immediately? If so, deal with it immediately. Do something with it, write the reply, send it. As you're doing it now, move that mail you've just dealt with, and move it into the processed mail folder. Can you delegate it? Remember, we're dealing with just the last 50 emails you've received. Can you delegate it? If not, is this email something that you do need to do something about? And you can't deal with it in 2 minutes, so move it to your to-do list, your task list, whatever system you've chosen to use. So do that with the most recent 50 or so emails that you have. One last criteria that you might want to apply to this intervention folder is take a piece of paper quickly and write down the 5 most important people who send you emails. Now, not the most important people in your life. Your spouse may never send you an email. By not putting her or his name on your piece of paper does not mean they're not important. Just the 5 most important people who send you emails. Probably your boss will be one of them. Maybe a key team member or team members, but about 5, maybe there's 6, doesn't really matter, maybe there's only 4. And now sort that intervention mailbox or that folder on their name, or sort by name and then go and look for them. Now don't get distracted by everybody else's name. Maybe you use the search function and just search for their name, and the last 2 emails you've had from them. Remember, you've already dealt with the last 50 emails that came in. So you've probably already dealt with a lot of emails from these VIP people. VIP is very important people. But just in case, the last 2 emails they sent you, deal with them, use the 4 criteria, delete, do, delegate, defer. And now, Control A on the intervention folder and move it all to the process mail folder. No, go on, do that. Control A, move everything that's in the intervention folder into the process mail folder. And delete the empty intervention folder. You don't need it anymore. At this point, you may want to go into the process mail folder and just Control A and select the option that says mark all as read. And just click that. It doesn't do anything other than means that any marking that says it's a new email is gone. Go back to your inbox. It's empty. Unless 1 or 2 emails have come in while you've been dealing with the monster. And take a moment to celebrate your new reality. Oh, but you say, hang on a moment, Colin, hang on a minute. I just moved 1,565 emails into my processed mail and I haven't processed them. Actually, you have. You're about to discover that a vast majority of the emails you get are actually a waste of time. And if you do nothing about them, no one is going to notice. And here's the thing, if in that 1,565 emails that you haven't even looked at, there is something that's really important, the person who sent it is going to send you another email about that issue. And then you can deal with it by deleting, doing, delegating, or deferring. If you keep this up now as a daily discipline, you should never have to deal with an overfull inbox again. Well, maybe you might. Maybe you travel on a trip somewhere where there is no internet connectivity, or you just are unable to keep up with the inbox. Or you go on leave and you decide that for 5 days you are not going to look at your inbox. And I really recommend that if you go on leave. Well, when you get back, schedule some time. It may need an hour or two. My daily email discipline probably takes half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on what comes in. When I go on holiday and I come back after 5 days and I haven't looked at an email, I might need to schedule 2 or 3 hours to go through the 100 or 200 emails that have backed up while I've been away. But I know how to do that, and I don't stress about it because I know that all I'm going to do is open my inbox and start working through and deleting, doing, delegating, and deferring. In summary, you need to institute a daily discipline. You need to have a scheduled inbox time, make those decisions for each email, delete, do, delegate, defer. While you're doing that, moving those emails out of your inbox. And then get some work done off your to-do list or task list. You might want to pause the video here and take a screenshot and keep this somewhere where you can see it until it becomes second nature. If you do these things, you will be able to tell people that you defeated the email monster.